Okay, just got back from my test run and just went down the street to my friends and back, and it got hot really fast. So this motor really does get hot. So even with the cross loop with new fresh rad fluid in it, it gets hot. Probably obviously because it has no radiator. So I'm thinking about sticking the rad back in and see if it gets as hot. I'll show you what the temperature gauge is showing. Showing at right around 100 and almost 190. So what I did was I pulled the cap off, and these lines are still hot. So I'm not touching the water, obviously, but I gotta get back to the backyard again to put the radiator back in. But I'm gonna let it cool down for a little bit, and I'll drain it. Obviously keep the fluid, nothing wrong with this fluid, it's all new. So I'll figure I'll probably unhook it right here and just drain the entire line. The exhaust worked out fine. It did go back a bit, so I had to tighten up an entire turn again. But just gotta let this thing cool. See how hot she is. She's running okay, but she's hot, and I want to crack the block, so I gotta let it cool. Other than that, everything's okay. Hopefully, an electric fan will cool this thing good enough. That is my hope still. So, other than that, I just want to see if that's my friend going by or not. Other than that, it's good enough. So I'll probably stick the rad back in. That should help keep it a little bit cooler. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I also filled up the reserve, so it's all good now. And this one here, the overflow is just about at max. So it's probably not good for this motor to be running like this, but I just want to see how hot it would get. And it got hot fast, so I was actually kind of shocked. This line here is actually a little bit warm as well. So I gotta let it cool before I even think about popping off those rad hoses. I'll probably push it to the backyard. This thing is really light. Nothing to move it, so I don't want to screw this motor. So this motor's pretty good. It has really good compression, as you guys know. And okay, just got back from my second drive. It did much better. Obviously with the radiator. It's quite gusty out there. It's not really windy, it's just occasional gusts today. So it was forcing some air across the radiator. The lines, they're still warm, but they're not nearly as warm as they were. So it's going to pop off the cap, so she'll cool quicker. There we go. So she is still warm, but I got to figure out a fan for this, like I said. Hopefully it will work. So it's basically an experiment. To even see if it will even work on this. That's why I got all the pieces still. I got all the keyways still that go back on the crankshaft. I got everything. Until I know it actually absolutely works good, then I will put those parts away and figure out my alternator mount. I still debating on keeping it open exhaust manifolds. I think it actually looks a little bit better. A lot of that stuff there is in pretty rough shape. So, but other than that, it's running good. It didn't get nearly as hot, like I said. There's the gauge. But other than that, it's still driving good. The clutch needs to be adjusted, but it's kind of a big job on these to adjust the clutch, because you got to take all this apart here in the back. You got to take the seat off. You got to take the pan off. You got to take. Actually, you don't have to take the shifter off. That's one thing you do not need to do on these. I forget with this how that works with the emergency brake. I forget how that worked. It's been quite a while since I've taken that off. I adjusted it, and that's actually what threw it out of adjustment. Whenever I first got this, it looked like it was loose, and it felt loose, but it wasn't. So. Grab my keys so I don't forget them. And that's pretty much it. I haven't used my new tool set yet. I will use that whenever. clean up all this eventually and put the new set right there. Like I said, the new set has no wrenches, so I just gotta use all my old wrenches, which is not a huge deal. So, and no real changes on anything else in here. The tires for this are in the house still. I did put them back on. I did take this for a run, but I had to repair the one again. So yeah. Then again, if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know, and I'll talk to everyone later. Please keep it redneck, and please subscribe and comment.